This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show. This week I have a very special guest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He is my favorite college football player of all time. I am deeply honored. Please help me welcome at this time, Charlie Ward. Charlie, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, Milo. I'm just enjoying life, coaching high school basketball and hanging out with the family.
How's the obviously, this past year has been crazy. How's the, I don't want to, I guess quarantine. Did you learn to bake bread like everybody else was doing, or how have you been handling this past year?
Well, it's been a bit of a challenge, but just like everyone else, we've had to manage our way through it. And that's one of the things that we learn. We learn from each and every experience, and we were able to get in a full most of our games. We had to reschedule some games, but because we were quarantined and those types of things, but we were able to have a good productive year, challenging, and just like everyone else with school and just the things that you have to go through with the different protocols. And so it was good for us to be able to experience it, and hopefully moving forward, we'll be better from it.
Fantastic. I truly hope so. I feel like we're right there, and looking forward to moving on. As I said, again, you are my favorite college football player of all time. I used to go to my grandmother's house, and we used to listen to Florida State games on the radio. So I've been a fan my entire life. Now, you grew up in Thomasville, which is right on the other side of the border. So were you a lifelong Florida State fan before going there?
We watched Coach Bowden, his show. We followed Florida State because, WCTV covered them, and some of the other stations covered their games, football, basketball. And so we knew of Florida State. I wouldn't say, it was like a dream school, because back then, just to go to school was a blessing for free. Someone else was paying for it as far as a scholarship. But to be able to meet Coach Bowden the first time was a great experience, because he was a legend, because we did grow up watching him and his show and the team. And so we knew about him and his faith and those types of things. And so just getting, I think it was more so getting an opportunity to meet Coach Bowden than, the actual being able to go to Florida State was like the big deal. So, but once I got to Florida State, of course, I enjoyed my time there, loved it, and grateful that I had an opportunity to play football and basketball there while getting my degree.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't imagine what it was like being recruited by Coach Bowden. That just must have been an absolute dream, to be able to, again, talk to him and meet him and just have it be official. You said you played football, played basketball. You were in the NCAA tournament, on your basketball team, but the football team obviously is what everybody knows about. So I just have to know. So obviously you won a ton of awards while you were there. Where are those awards? Where's your Heisman, your Davy O'Brien, your Maxwell? Where do you keep those?
Well, the Heisman Trophy is in our public library in Thomasville. It's been there since I've won it. So it's been on display at the public library, mainly because it was a safe place, and it also a place where everyone can see it.
Right.
And so that's something that's been there since I won it. I brought it back home. And the other awards are pretty much in my mom and dad's house currently. And they have an award room with a lot of the kids awards in that room. So it's good to be able to go in there and be amongst all of the awards that my siblings and even some of my dad even won. So
that's very cool. That's very cool. Like the entire family has like it's amazing. Do you think that 1993 team, let's put them up against 99 or 2013. Do you think you take them?
All the teams were very good. And all the teams had great leadership. So I don't know. I mean, it's a toss up when you start talking about different types of teams. I know the 2013 team had a lot of NFL players on it, from both sides of the ball. And so did, the 2000 team. They had some as well. Our team had some pros also. So, I mean, it's a matter of opinion.
Right.
But I do believe, we had what it would take to be able to compete with any of those teams and vice versa. So the good thing about it is our practices were the same. All three teams had good quality practices because of the talent level. And that was one of the reasons why we were able to win championships.
Absolutely. What do you think it's going to take to get Florida State football back to that national prominence?
Well, the first thing is just to have coaching stability, where the coach comes in and, everyone kind of rallies around his vision. And I think we have that currently with Coach Norville and his vision for the program. And he's doing an amazing job of creating a culture that, we were kind of founded upon, which was a great work ethic, family environment, great character kids and guys who are, just want to win, want to put the time in to make it happen. And so I think he's doing a great job of that. And hopefully we give him some time and support him in that effort. And I know, when we look at our men's basketball team currently, doing well.
Absolutely.
The ladies making it to the tournament again. They've had the same coaches, for years, and they've been able to establish some stability and culture, and they've been able to sustain it over the course of time. And so I think the past few years we've had that instability after the championship year. And then, with Coach Fisher moving on, and then Coach Taggart coming in and not really getting the support that he needed to be successful. And that was only, 18 months. And then Coach Norville comes in. And so the kids that have been in the program for 4 years had, 3 different coaches. And so that's a recipe for not being successful. I don't care where you are. And so I think now, just to be able to get back into the conversation with the top tier teams, even in our conference, we're going to have some stability, and we're going to have to rally around Coach Norville and his staff and the players so that they can be the best that they can be.
Absolutely. One of my favorite facts about you is that you were actually drafted twice in the Major League Baseball draft. Like, you didn't even play college baseball. So did the teams contact you and say, "Hey, we're going to draft you," or did you hear about it in the newspaper? How did you react when you heard you were drafted in a Major League Baseball draft?
I think someone may have either called or sent me the The drafts, I got drafted in like the 19th round and the 65th round or something. So, I mean, those were really far-fetched. And first, for a team to have my rights, they saw me as an athlete. I did play Little League baseball and 1 year of high school baseball. And so I guess they felt like they should draft me just in case. Baseball, which, I enjoyed playing baseball in high school the 1 year and Little League. So it was an option, but it was definitely an option further down the
Right.
food.
Right. I mean, looking at that free agent money right now, it's kind of crazy. I think I might be steering towards that baseball. But yeah, so but you went the basketball route, which is something personally I was really hoping you play football because I'm a big football fan and I was a big fan of yours, but understood the basketball. And you were one of the people who actually got me into basketball. But at the same time, you were called, while not playing football, the best quarterback in New York. Do you remember any of those quotes? Basically saying that you were the best quarterback in New York, even though you didn't play football at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it really irritated me to be called that because that was just being disrespectful to the quarterbacks that were there, who were that was their job, and so that kind of irritated me because of that, just that factor alone. I just didn't think it was respectful to the guys that were quarterbacks there, because just being in that profession, it'd be. I would just if someone was saying they were the best point guard and they were playing a different sport in New York, I understand it's someone's opinion, but me,
Right.
I just felt bad, even in that thought, because someone there were guys who that was their lively profession. That's what they did on a regular basis, and so I know it's good commentary and it's good for people to talk about, but I just it kind of irritated me most times when I heard it during that time because it was just being disrespectful in my eyes to those that were actually playing quarterback. And there were, the guys, Vinny Testaverde was there. I know with the Jets at one time, and so, he was a very good quarterback. He might have been older at the time, but he was still a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I've actually never thought of it that way. So now I'm definitely going to look at that in a in future commentary and in a different manner. Did you ever play the Bill Walsh college football game that, well, I guess you were in? It wasn't really you, but it was you. Did you play the college football game?
No, unfortunately, I'm not a big video game guy, so I don't play very many video. I've heard people say they played with me at quarterback, and that I've had great ratings, whether ball or basketball. So, that's I guess that's a positive. But I don't normally play.
Understandable. Now, I want to get into a little bit of, again, you said you're coaching prep basketball. You've coached prep football in the past. What is it about helping guide those athletes, those citizens, those people of tomorrow that you love so much?
I just think it's a great seed bearing ground. When you have young kids, they're more apt to listen and do the things that you've asked them to do based on your experience, and just to be able to pour into them opportunities that you were afforded as a player, and as a NBA coach. And so just giving them that opportunity to be able to talk to a guy like Larry Johnson, which we were able to do this year for our guys, to be able to take them different places that they may not have gone before as a team, just to be able to pour into them, the things that God has blessed me with, and just opportunities, for them to learn the game, one, and two, learn how to be a great, teammate. And their teammates go a long way. It's not just basketball teammates. When you get married, that's your partner.
Right.
That's a relationship. You got to learn how to manage that. When you're working, I mean, even if you're working by yourself or for yourself, you're going to be working with someone. You have to develop relationships. You got to understand how to deal with people, how to maneuver when things aren't going according to plan, your plan. And so I just think, being on a team, being able to help them work through those choices, those decisions that they have to make on a team at an early age plays a big part in, their upbringing. And if nothing else, it's a great seed. Like I said, you're planting seeds, and at some point in time, you never know who's going to water it. But we just pray that, God would definitely give the increase at some point over the course of their time.
That's fantastic. That's yep. I mean, again, planting seeds, that's a great way to look at it. And I also want to talk about the Ward Foundation. How long ago did you start this foundation, this charity?
My wife and I, we had a foundation, the Award Foundation, when we were in the NBA.
Okay.
But we started a family foundation about 2 or 3 years ago, and it just got up to fruition here lately. But we support our daughter. She has a outreach to the elderly. So she does a music enrichment program for them, as well as encouraging them with letters that she gets from kids from the community to be able to write on holidays. So it's called Holiday Notes, and so we do a good job. Our foundation works to support. It's a family foundation, and this year we're having a fundraiser. She's having a fundraiser for the 2021 year. She wants to raise $20,000 to be able to support a couple of organizations. One is I9 Sports. I think it's a national chain.
I definitely see signs around my neighborhood for that. So yes.
Yeah. And so she wants to be able to support I9 Sports. Any family, kid that may not have opportunity financially to afford it, she wants to be able to help support them. And she's musically gifted as well. So she's supporting a local orchestra, Javassier, conservatory, and it's to help, with kids who may not be able to afford the opportunity to be in the orchestra, and so that's just raising funds to be able to help with those. And then we support hurricane relief efforts. We also do youth. We support youth organizations as well. And so we do quite a bit with the Family Foundation, and we're grateful that people have supported us over the years, and we just want to be able to give back like we were able to do when we were playing.
That's great. We're going to put all the information down under, in the video. I do want to say, just feel touched, when you said when we were in the NBA, when you're talking about you and your wife as like a union and not when I was in the NBA. And that makes me feel fantastic. And just to hear somebody say it like that It's fantastic. I know we gotta wrap up here real quick. I know you gotta get to practice and stuff, but before we do, I'm gonna do one of our quick things that we like to do. It's called the Milo Beasley Show. Frequently asked questions. I ask everybody these 5 questions on the show. So we're gonna start it off with first. Who is your first celebrity crush?
I would have to say, I guess, Janet Jackson.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Question number 2, really good. What is your guilty pleasure song?
Guilty pleasure song?
Yeah, like a song that you like that maybe not everybody else likes, but you're still jamming to it every single day.
I don't know. That's a good one. I
have to think about that one.
Yeah, it's going to be some form of a Christian song, Christian hip hop.
I know I have a friend who's super into Christian hip hop, so I don't personally know any, but I definitely know where you're coming from. All right, question number 3. If you had to, not saying, for Peter's sake, but if you had to and your life depended on it, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? If you were being attacked, would you rather fight the one giant duck or the little horses?
Probably the one size duck.
Yeah. Get it out of the way. I totally agree.
Too many.
Question number 4, almost done. What is your favorite movie quote?
You can't handle the truth.
That's a great one. That is a great one because you probably use that a lot.
I don't know about a lot, but I do use it sometimes.
All right, and our last question before we wrap up. Finish this sentence. I would be a millionaire if I had $1 every time.
Someone said that God wouldn't come through.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
That's the song by Franklin.
So where can folks find you on the social medias if they wanted to follow you and find the foundation?
At Real Charlie Ward, and Charlie Ward Official is my social media handles.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. I just have to know, what does TOUGH stand for on the shirt that you're wearing?
As one of our slogans this year for our basketball team, and it was terrorizing opponents using good habits.
Good habits. Again, thank you so much. I gotta you're my guy, man. You're my dude. You're my dude. Again, such a great moment to be able to speak to you. So thank you so much for taking the time out, and good luck to you. Good luck to the team. And hopefully we hear great things about it in the future.
All right. Thanks, Milo.
All right. Thank you, Charlie Ward.